Welcome to our show, Immigration Briefing. Today, we're diving into some heated discussions in the world of immigration and politics. First up, former President Trump is making waves with his proposal to hire 10,000 new Border Patrol agents. This comes after he derailed a bipartisan border bill, and his focus on illegal immigration is clearly ramping up as he blames the current administration for border issues. Will this move energize his base? Next, we turn our attention to Iceland, where Prime Minister Bjarni Benediktsson has dissolved parliament and called for elections on November 30th. Tensions within the governing coalition over asylum seekers and energy policies have led to this significant political shift. What will the future hold for Iceland's immigration policies? Lastly, we're seeing a surge in internal migration in the UK, with Britons leaving England for Scotland and Wales in search of more affordable living. This trend has reached its highest level in over 2 decades, as families seek to escape rising costs. What does this mean for the future of the UK's immigration landscape? Please stay tuned for more in-depth coverage on these fascinating topics. Associated Press. At a rally in Prescott Valley, Arizona, former President Donald Trump made a bold proposal to hire 10,000 additional Border Patrol agents, coupled with a $10,000 signing and retention bonus for each agent. This announcement came after Trump previously derailed a bipartisan immigration bill that aimed to enhance border security by funding 1,500 additional personnel. Trump, who has made illegal immigration a cornerstone of his campaign, blamed Vice President Kamala Harris for the rising number of unauthorized crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border. He vowed to implement the largest deportation operation in U.S. history if re-elected, while also promising to complete the border wall. The rally showcased support from the National Border Patrol Council, reinforcing Trump's stance on immigration while criticizing the current administration's handling of border security. Telegraph. The article discusses the Conservative Party's struggles with immigration control, highlighting a disconnect between promises made during campaigns and actions taken in government. It argues that if the party wishes to reduce immigration, it must not only impose strict legal limits on visa routes but also undertake significant reforms in public services and education. The piece emphasizes the need for enhanced border security measures, including ID cards and stricter enforcement of labor market rules, while advocating for the expulsion of illegal immigrants and foreign criminals. The author contends that the failure of the Rwanda agreement to operate effectively due to legal delays underscores the necessity of reforming human rights laws, advocating for the UK to leave the European Convention on Human Rights to regain control over immigration policies. South China Morning Post. In a significant political move, Iceland's Prime Minister Bjarni Benediktsson announced the dissolution of parliament and called for elections to be held on November 30th. This decision stems from escalating disagreements among the 3 parties in the governing coalition regarding critical issues such as asylum seekers and energy efficiency. Benediktsson, who leads the right-wing Independence Party, indicated that he would meet with President Halla Thomasdottir to discuss the dissolution. The coalition government has faced mounting challenges, including economic pressures from recent volcanic eruptions and the effects of high inflation and interest rates, prompting a re-evaluation of its governance and policies as the country prepares for a new electoral cycle. Telegraph reports a significant surge in internal migration as Britons leave England for Scotland and Wales, with net migration out of England reaching a staggering 31,393 in the year leading up to June 2023. This marks a 53% increase compared to the previous year and the highest level since data collection began in 2001-2, excluding the pandemic year. Wales alone saw a 65% rise in net internal migration, with 17,559 new arrivals, while Scotland experienced an 11% increase, reaching a 21-year high of 13,900. The primary driving force behind this migration appears to be the escalating cost of living in England, particularly in housing and rent, prompting many to seek more affordable options in the northern regions. With the average home price in England being 54% higher than in Scotland, families are making moves that could save them thousands annually. Telegraph also highlights a troubling incident faced by Dick Atkinson, who, along with his wife, was left stranded at the dockside in Southampton on their way to celebrate his 80th birthday aboard Cunard's Queen Mary 2. Unbeknownst to them, they required an ESTA visa waiver to board the cruise, a detail that was not communicated in their booking confirmation or pre-cruise information. This oversight not only caused confusion but also left them feeling frustrated as they witnessed Cunard staff alerting others about the requirement only upon arrival at the terminal. The situation raises questions about the cruise line's responsibility to provide clear information regarding travel documentation, especially since many passengers may not be aware of the need for an ESTA. Cunard has since acknowledged the gap in communication and expressed a willingness to improve clarity in their documentation. Yahoo US chronicles the journey of a New Jersey resident who transitioned to life in Barcelona, sharing both the ease and challenges of the relocation process. Initially drawn to Spain to enhance her Spanish language skills, she found the apartment hunting process surprisingly straightforward, utilizing a rental app called Batty to secure a room with a roommate. However, the visa application process proved to be a more daunting task, particularly due to miscommunications with her immigration lawyer, which led to unnecessary expenses and delays. Despite these setbacks, she successfully navigated the complexities of securing a student visa, although it only lasts a year, necessitating future reapplication for extended residency. Embracing her new life in Barcelona, she reflects on the value of the experience, noting that the effort to establish a stable life abroad has been rewarding, allowing her to immerse herself in the culture and lifestyle of Spain. The Sydney Morning Herald reports on the shifting dynamics of support for Vice President Kamala Harris among black voters, highlighting a concerning trend as she trails significantly behind President Joe Biden's 2020 performance within this crucial demographic. A recent New York Times Siena College poll indicates that while nearly 80% of black voters express support for Harris, this is a decline from Biden's 90% approval in the last election. The poll reveals a growing disillusionment among younger black voters, with many feeling that the Democratic Party has not fulfilled its promises, leading some to consider supporting Trump, who has made inroads with black men despite his controversial history. The article emphasizes Harris's efforts to reconnect with black voters through targeted outreach and her achievements as vice president, but also notes the challenges posed by economic concerns and perceptions of crime. The Japan Times covers Donald Trump's escalating anti-immigration rhetoric as he campaigns in Colorado, where he advocates for severe measures, including the death penalty for migrants who kill American citizens. By portraying migrants as threats, Trump aims to galvanize his base ahead of the November elections, where illegal immigration remains a top voter concern. His proposed Operation Aurora targets gang members, reflecting a broader strategy to reinforce his image as the candidate who can best address immigration issues. The article underscores how Trump's hardline stance resonates with many voters who feel increasingly anxious about crime and safety, positioning him as a formidable challenger to Harris. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation analyzes the claim made by a federal minister that Australia has lacked a coherent immigration strategy for decades. The article traces the evolution of Australia's immigration policies, noting that while there have been shifts in approach, particularly during the Howard government, the assertion that there has been no strategy is misleading. Historical context reveals that Australia's immigration policies have been responsive to economic needs, such as addressing labor shortages and promoting international education. The piece argues that while the lack of long-term planning and collaboration between federal and state governments remains a valid critique, it is incorrect to assert that Australia has been without an immigration strategy entirely. CBC, as winter approaches in Ottawa, the Ottawa Mission is bracing for an influx of new immigrants, many of whom are refugees seeking shelter. Ashley Potter, the manager of Frontline Services, highlights the challenges faced by the mission, which has seen a significant rise in asylum seekers occupying its beds. In October 2023, 61% of the shelter's occupants were asylum seekers, although that number has since decreased due to warmer weather and the opening of emergency centers. The mission provides essential services, but the demand often exceeds capacity, leading to heartbreaking situations where individuals, like Rexford, a refugee from Ghana, are forced to sleep in uncomfortable conditions while waiting for housing. The mission's commitment to helping those in need is evident, but the struggle to balance resources remains a pressing issue. Australian Broadcasting Corporation, Demas and Bella's dreams of a working holiday in Australia quickly turned into a nightmare when they arrived at a remote farm. After leaving jobs in Indonesia's banking sector, they were promised easy work and decent accommodation but were met with harsh realities upon arrival. Instead of packing cucumbers, they were forced into heavy labor to renovate an abandoned property. The couple faced not only grueling work but also poor living conditions, including undrinkable water and filthy accommodation. Despite the misleading promises from their employment agent, they eventually managed to escape with help from a supportive community. Their experience serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of thorough research and verification before embarking on such journeys, highlighting the risks faced by many migrant workers. The Sydney Morning Herald, for Ksenia and Nika, two Ukrainian students who fled their war-torn country, the upcoming HSC exams represent a significant milestone in their new lives in Australia. After relocating to Sydney in March 2022, the girls faced the daunting task of adjusting to a new education system while grappling with the trauma of leaving their homeland. With the support of family and a scholarship, they have made remarkable progress, though the emotional weight of their past remains. Both students are looking forward to university, with Nika interested in environmental sciences and Xenia aspiring to study civil engineering. Recent changes in immigration policy have provided them with a pathway to permanent residency, offering hope for a brighter future as they navigate the challenges of their new lives in Australia. Telegraph. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk has announced a temporary suspension of the right to asylum in the country, asserting that Poland must regain full control over its borders amidst a surge of migrants from Belarus. Tusk emphasized that this move is essential to counteract the destabilizing efforts of Russia and Belarus, which he claims are using migration as a weapon in a hybrid war against the EU. He highlighted the importance of integration for those wishing to enter Poland, citing Germany's negative experiences with immigration as a cautionary tale. Tusk's government is demanding that the EU recognize this decision, setting the stage for potential conflict with Brussels, especially as EU leaders prepare to discuss migration policies at an upcoming summit. The Independent, in a strategic move to bolster her campaign, Vice President Kamala Harris has released a medical report affirming her excellent health and mental resilience, directly contrasting with the scrutiny surrounding Donald Trump's age and health. This revelation comes as Trump faces increasing criticism from former allies regarding his mental acuity. At recent rallies, Trump has made incendiary comments advocating for extreme measures against migrants, further polarizing the political landscape. Polling data reveals a tight race, with Harris leading in Pennsylvania while Trump maintains an edge in Arizona, underscoring the competitive nature of the upcoming election as both candidates vie for crucial battleground states. Telegraph. As Keir Starmer marks his first 100 days in office, criticisms of his leadership have intensified, with many labeling his tenure a disaster. Allegations of continuity with past Tory sleaze, cuts to winter fuel payments, and a failure to tackle illegal immigration have fueled public discontent. The Labour government is accused of neglecting its voter base and failing to uphold key promises. With illegal crossings at an all-time high, Starmer's commitment to combating migrant gangs has been particularly scrutinized. The political landscape is further complicated by deteriorating international relations, as Starmer's approach has drawn ire from allies and emboldened adversaries, leading to calls for a more reformative and secure governance approach from parties like Reform UK. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn the lights on screen. What's the latest scene? Just you and me, laugh and disagree. On the couch we sit, talk about the hits, news and bits, chat through all the fits. 6 degree chats. Gotta talk about that. Like crazy chat. 6 degrees.